In the gospel teaching of Jesus, a man called Nicodemus comes to him and asks, "How can I be born again? Must I needs go back into my mother's womb and be born again? How is all this going to happen?" Jesus tells him that a man who is born of the water needs to be born again of the Spirit. Now that, to me, is the mortal accepting immortality about himself, soul and spirit, where they become as one. Jesus then said to him, "How can you be a master of Scripture and not understand?" And he used the term Israel, what Jesus is referring to. You'd go back to Scripture. And in Scripture, there is in Genesis the story of Jacob. And he was on his journey, and on the way, he lay down to rest. And an angel came, a messenger, and smote the sinew of his thigh, or that strong stand that he was taking as a mortal. And at that time, he struggled with that angel thought. We all do. We struggle with the thoughts that come to us from God. And he finally said, "Let me go," And he said, and mind you, he's struggling with himself. "Let me go." And he said, "No, I will not let thee go until you bless me. I want to know what it is." And then he was told, because he had a change of thought, and he said, "From this time on, your name shall not be called Jacob, but Israel. For as a man you have struggled with God, and you have prevailed." The word Israel is a very important word or name within Bible teaching. Scripture teaches us Judaic religion based on, way back on the Third Covenant with Moses, who established religious practices and church rules. Now we go back before that to the time Jacob was before Moses. And Jacob had established himself as an Israelite. He was of the Hebrew-speaking people, but he had given up his Judaic thought about God, and he stopped struggling with himself about God. And because he stopped this struggle and he accepted God, he took on the name of Israel. And Israel is not a country. It was never meant to be that. Israel is a state of conscious being or soul with God. Jesus was an Israelite. He was of the Hebrew background, but he was not of the Judaic religious practices. He told the doctors at 12 that he disagreed with them about Judaism, because he had accepted for himself that he was an Israelite. This shows that there have always been people throughout this historical phases of prophetic teaching that have known God, have accepted God, have been renamed, not just immortal, not only human, but knowing divine to the point that they became Israelite in nature, a new concept of creation, a new form of having found their Peniel, their place with God. Peniel means place. They found their place with God. I have found my place with God. I have my own depth of understanding in soul or conscious being with God. You can't take that away from me. You can't be me. I can't be you. But God has made it possible for all of us, to find our place with him.